Little look at the second kind of bread that I thought you could have a little shot at. So you've already seen me do the bread, so you'll all be able to answer the questions. So into the pan, I'm going to put the bread mix, 500 grams in the packet. Inside the packet of low-protein mix, we have the bread and we have the yeast. The correct amount of yeast for 500. So if you, for example, you didn't want to use the whole packet, you could just roughly half it, and you could just roughly half that, and you could just seal it up if you wanted to make half the amount of rolls. But it's a good idea to make them all and then maybe freeze some. So let's do the same thing, but this time we'll do something a wee bit different, a little bit more challenging, okay? So in to the bowl, we put the whole thing into a big deep bowl. Do you remember I saying that, a big deep bowl? Can you remember why I said a big deep bowl? Can you remember why did I say a big deep bowl? Can you remember?
Because if it's not deep, it won't mix.
Yeah, that's right. If it's not deep, it'll all scoot out the side, and we don't want that to happen. So we want to try and keep it nice and organised in the packet. So, and I'm going to put in the yeast, and I'm going to use my spatula, my nice bendy spatula. So in with the yeast, I wriggle that down to make sure that I've got all the yeast at the bottom. In it goes, and then I'm going to stir that round. And then I'm going to put in the salt. And can you remember why I don't put the salt and the yeast together? There was a reason why. Top of the class here.
You don't put it in together because it doesn't mix. It makes a chemical reaction, and then it won't taste nice.
You don't get the right reaction. So they sit on top of each other and you don't get the right reaction, and I don't want that. I want to make sure that they're going to work really well. So one and then the other. Can somebody give that girl a gold star? She's doing very well, isn't she? So in with the salt. Okay, now one of the things that we find in a low-protein diet is sometimes that people find that things are lacking a little bit of colour. So, I can just use this again for my water. I'll just use this again. It saves on the washing up. Because as you can see, we haven't got any sinks. So I'll put that in. My water's measured out. And I'm going to add some oil again. Again, you'll see on the ingredients, it's got a couple of tablespoons of oil. But I'm just going to, that's basically covering the top with a little film. But this time, to give it a little bit of colouring, because it's naan bread, I'm going to add some yellow food colouring. Okay, a little bit of yellow food colouring. Or if you didn't want to use the yellow food colouring, you could use some liquid gravy browning, a little drop of that just to colour the bread a little bit. So, but today we're going to have like a yellowy looking naan. So we're going to put that in. Have our beaters again, we'll stick those back in from before. They've got bread mixture on, so they'll be fine. And then remember, everything goes in together, yes? We make sure that we have everything ready together. That goes in all at one time, and then on with the mixer again. So about a minute with the food mixer. Now these wee mixers only cost, well at home in Scotland, they're £4.17. So I'm not sure what they are in euros here. These are just from Tesco's, but they're very cheap and cheerful. And it just means that you don't have to get anything big and fancy out of the cupboard. You can just make things really quickly. So switch that off. And there's our, so it's got a lovely yellowy colour for the naan bread. So we'll pop that to one side. Now then, one of the things that you can do to each of the breads, first of all to our chipata, if we wanted to, and I've put out there for you, you could put some olives, you could chop some olives up through your rolls, couldn't you, make them olive flavoured? I've got some char-grilled pepper, you could put some pepper in there if you wanted to. I've also got some garlic or tomato, so you could flavour the dough a little bit. Yes, for the rolls that we made, we could have flavoured those. So I'm looking for you to use a little bit of imagination with those if you want to. For the naan bread, we can use some cumin. If you wanted to, we could put a little bit of cumin in, or some fresh coriander. Yes, so all of those things are out there for you as well. So I think this cumin is open. Let's just have a little look. Yes, this cumin is open. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of cumin through there, just to give it a little bit of a nice spicy flavour. Smells absolutely delicious, ground cumin seeds. Or you could put some of the whole seeds in as well if you like. So we'll stir that round. Now you can smell that, smells delicious. Now to shape up our dough, what we're going to do is this. We're going to get a little bit of cling film and we're going to take a spoonful of the mixture and shape it. So I can see now that lots of you are going to have fun with this little section. You take your cling film, if we can get it open. This is the most difficult part of low protein cooking, is getting the cling film open. So we'll just get that started. There, so we lift that out like so. Oh, got a piece of dough there on my finger. Right, so we'll put that out like so and just tear off a little bit. Now on your tabletop somewhere, where's my little thing of flour? Oh, my little tub of flour. I brought up a little tub of flour. Little square tub. Could you pass me just as a little square tub of flour over there? I thought I brought one up here. I'll find it in a minute. It's probably buried. Where did I put that? That's annoying. Thank you. Perfect. You'll find these little tubs. And now I have two because I've stolen one from before. Just sprinkle a little bit of flour onto your cling film and just wrap. Just spread that out like so. We need our baking tray. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a bit of the mixture, a spoonful of the mixture, and we're going to put it into the cling film like that. And then we're going to bring the cling film over the top, like that. Might put a little bit more flour on there. So, and we can just roll it around in the cling film, like that. Looks like fun, doesn't it? You're going to have fun doing that, yes? So we make it sort of like a little bit like a sausage shape. And then put the cling film over, and then we're just going to pat it down. We're just going to pat it down to turn it into, if I tip that up, maybe that's a little bit easier. Is that better? I didn't know I was working to a camera until yesterday. So we'll just pat that down like that. Yes, can you see now how you do that? So it's quite simple. And there's our little, it's not a brilliant shape there. I've not done him very well, but you're getting the idea there. It's a little rugby ball shape. And then we can tip that out onto here. There we go. Yes, so tip that out. So I'll do that again so that you can see. So some flour, low protein flour onto your top. A big dollop of the mixture. Okay. And then you roll it around to get the flour all over it. Like that, a bit like a sort of a sausage shape. Does this look like fun? Yeah? Does it look like fun? So like so. And then we're just going to pat that down. Somebody's saying yeah. So pat that down like so. That's a little bit better shape, isn't it, there? So pat that out. And of course, they're not regular sort of shapes, the naans. They're all, there we go. And then we can get those baked in the oven. And you can always sprinkle those with a little bit of some seeds, or again, you can flavour them. So we'll pop those to one side as well.